All right, one little video left before we move on to Black Mamba. All right, so we just wrapped up doing our 1970s albums and songs, and 1990s albums and songs, which may have included a song from 2000. Because most of these artists didn't go that far, but a few did. All right, so I didn't want to leave out these 10 artists from our top 100 who never made it out of the 80s, and they didn't start until the 80s. So they did not have an opportunity to be in the 70s or beyond the 80s.
So a list of just the 80s.
Yes, these are bands that, well, they may have put out albums, but they never ever had a hit outside of this decade.
Right.
All right, so starting at number 10, she was our last artist, Stevie Nicks. However, you can argue that because she's part of Fleetwood Mac. But as a solo artist, she never left the 80s.
Yeah.
With a hit.
What? They did have Landslide that like recurred.
That was a Fleetwood Mac song, though.
I know, but she sang it, so it's.
I don't know, but she was probably getting up there in age once the 90s started, so maybe that's why. Because back then, people discarded the women after they hit a certain age. Do they still do that?
Tell that to Madonna.
Oh yeah, Madonna quit already.
She just won't quit.
Yeah. Or Celine Dion, although she wasn't 80s.
She just did the Olympics.
I know she
opening,
did.
yeah.
She needs to retire because she has that disease where you can't move, and it looks like it's painful.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, go search that out. All right, number 9. Obviously, we did these top ones recently because I'm going backwards. Christopher Cross, and I will tell you, I'm kind of cheating because his album came out in December of 1979. However, none of his hits came out until 1980, so I'm sticking him in the 80s.
You've seen the meme about him, right?
What's the meme?
The Christopher Cross meme is that he is able to look like both members of Tenacious D.
Oh,
His younger self and his older self look like one or the other. Jack Black and what's the other?
Kyle Gass, yeah. Which, if you hear about them anymore,
Yeah.
it's all going to be negative.
Yeah, Jack Black might not be doing anything with him anymore.
No, people are dumb. They think they're on the right side and then they do something stupid. Okay, number 8, which this band, of course, we knew couldn't move out of the 80s because they said, you're fired, and then they went, men of work. And which is interesting. Some of these bands, they couldn't move out of the 80s, yet they had an album with 2 number 1s. You would think that our band should be able to keep going, but nope, not this one. Number 7. Now, number 7, I'm cheating, because he actually did have some hits in the 70s, but you will never hear them on the radio. And for all intents and purposes, I didn't even know this guy existed until the 80s. And that's Billy Ocean. Yes, I cheated to get 10, but there you have it. Do you know any of the hits from the 70s?
No.
All right, so that's 7. Number 6, Wang Chung, which, man, they should have kept going. I like when they appeared on that one hit, TV show where they performed a song of theirs and then a song of somebody else's. They were pretty good at doing Nelly's song, so they should have been able to keep going. All right, maybe it's their band name.
Yeah, that would have been canceled.
Number 5, Survivor, which means they didn't. Not the 80s. Or not past the 80s. Okay, number 4, Mr. Mister. And they only survived past the 80s for one reason. They had a song, Train had a song that mentioned him. Soul Sister. Number 3. This would probably be the one I'm most surprised about because they were huge when they had the hits. Loverboy. How they didn't extend past the 80s. Although they are an 80s flavor band.
Yeah.
But they still do perform, so...
Yeah, well, you know, like Guns N' Roses still performs. And
oh my goodness, I just saw a clip.
You finally saw him? Yeah, where he
Yeah.
sounds like Mickey Mouse? I told you.
Wow.
Mike Reno, though, when you see him, he looks like
Yeah, he's still. They still sound good. He's just fat. But his voice didn't change. So that's why you go see them. All right. Number 2, Night Ranger. Now you can say Night Ranger didn't survive. However, they had plenty of albums after. Yes, plenty of albums. But
Not a hit.
Jack Black, or not Jack. Jack Blades did go into Damn Yankees, so
Yeah.
he did extend to the 90s.
Right,
just
but that's
not the
different band,
itself.
yeah, different
yes. All right, and our,
So technically, I mean, the last hits I remember from The Big Life. So
yeah, and the number 1, we all know why he didn't go past the 80s. Who do you think that would be?
I don't even know who you're talking about. So
Just that hint alone doesn't give you a hint.
no.
He did it to himself.
Oh, Billy Squire.
So one video doomed his career.
And
so
he had like 5 albums after.
I know, but he didn't make it past the 80s, and we all know why. So there's the 10. I'm surprised only 10 of our bands didn't have hits in those other decades. But we have 90 bands that we did that had a hit either in the 70s or beyond the 80s. So that's why the 80s is pretty good, because you had lots of bands that had extended careers. So there you have it. All right, back to Black Mamba, otherwise known as
White Snake.
that was his opposite joke. If you got that. All right, so we'll see you then. Bye.